Hello and welcome to another Paranormal Q&A with Jack, Kenna, and
Carly Hall.
Carlio.
Who thought she was going to do the show by herself today?
Yeah. I fooled her. I
For like
told her she
5
was doing
seconds.
it all by herself. I disappeared, and then I started the countdown, and then I popped back in before she wasn't know I was gonna be there until it started. So
With a slight look of panic on my face. That's too funny.
you could have done it all by yourself. Bob Burnell, how you doing out there? Loki Trout, I see is there. How are they all doing today? So, Carly, yes, we're back. We have been gone for a long time, but we've had a lot going on. Uh,
Hmm.
I was away, as I think everybody knows, or most everybody knows. I was away out in Colorado visiting my daughter out there for a week, basically a whole week. So I was gone for pretty much 2 Tuesdays for the most part. Um, well, the first Tuesday I was just getting ready to leave and stuff. So, um, and then the next one, I was just getting home that day. I just got home that late afternoon or evening, I should say, from Colorado on last Tuesday or the previous Tuesday, whatever Tuesday it was. But anyways, we are back. Hello, Bob Maloney. I see there out there. There's Teresa Fowler, John McGinnis, no, Michelle Millions. I always get that wrong. It's like millions, right? So a million. Yeah, okay, get it. I always pronounce it wrong. I'm sorry, Michelle. Anyways, we are back, and we've had really a lot going on, but we're just getting ready for the holidays and stuff. Like I said, with the exception of my traveling and stuff. Carly did not go with me. For those who are curious, she was home hanging out, doing her stuff.
Literally didn't leave the bedroom.
I didn't say that. You didn't have to tell him that.
Well, no, the Xbox is in there, so.
Well, you had your own Xbox too, but
Yeah.
I think you spent some of your time at your own. But anyways, um, what did we do before we left? We had our event out in well, we went to Ocean State Paragon. It wasn't our event. We went to Ocean State Paragon. It was Ken LeBlond. See Ken out there. I think I said that before. Barry Martz. There's Barry. How you doing, Barry? Oh, see people. It's not the company, I promise you. It's one of those
I
days.
hope not.
Yeah, no, not the company. It's one of those days. I see everybody saying hello to each other in there too, which is always great. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you're getting ready for the holidays. They're coming up pretty quick. Christmas is coming if you celebrate it. It's just around the corner, and you got Hanukkah, and you got all kinds of stuff. So Kwanzaa, right? That's another one.
Hmm.
So,
What's the other one? Candlemas? Is that
that's something your family does, which is weird. So
They don't. They don't.
yeah.
Anyway.
Candlemas or something like that. I don't
Candlemas.
know. I never heard of that one.
Me
If
neither.
anybody knows what Candlemas is, let us know. I
It
don't know.
was. I remember Carl looked it up.
Oh, that's right. Carl did.
Yeah. But I forget what it was. It
It's been a
was.
while. So like I said, it's
Nobody
been
really
a while since we've
celebrates
done
it.
it.
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah.
So
That
yeah,
that's one of them.
not too much paranormal going on at this end. We are supposed to head out with our team this weekend to go investigate someplace. So one of our team members wants to they're a new team member. They want to really kind of learn how to investigate. So we're going to be doing that. Yes, I know. The guy who teaches it, one of his team members doesn't even know how yet. So, well, she does, but she wants to know more. So that's our good friend Z Watson. So I'm doing that. And I know out in our old first team there, our old first team, first class was been talking about wanting to get together this coming spring to investigate someplace. Talking about Rolling Hills, maybe a couple other places. So, excuse me again. Maybe we'll do some stuff next year. Again, it's not the company; it's just me. Hey, there's Nick. How you doing out there, Nick? So again, we've been going for a while. So if you guys have any questions for us about anything we've been doing, any place we've been, what we've been up to, any paranormal questions, throw them out there. That's what we're here for. We're here for you to answer your questions about everything paranormal. Well, you, Carly, have anything paranormal happen while I was away?
Nope.
No.
No.
Bob says he just bought some new gear. Very excited. Going to on the road next year. Bucket list type thing. Very cool, Bob. That's Bob Burnell. And Barry, of course, his internet's working intermittently. Barry, we need to get you something good. What do you got out there? I know he's out in the middle of nowhere, out in Western New York there. So I think, yeah, he has satellite, I think, right? Barry, do you have satellite? Is that what you're running off of?
We need to go run some cables out his way.
Yeah, we're gonna run you some cable or something. I think we'll just drag it out there ourselves. We'll link it up from our pole out here, and we'll run it all the way out to Western New York. Nobody will know what that line along the highway is.
Really long extension
along the
cord.
highway gets off at this exit. What is that? Nobody will know. I don't know how long it'll last. By some truck will run it over and cut it. But hey, yeah, well, could last forever. Who knows? Who knows? It's a lot of cable though.
It's a really long extension cord.
Yeah, maybe we can hook them up to our Wi-Fi. That might be easier. Somehow we'll link them we'll shuttle them into our Wi-Fi system. That could work. Could join them in somehow, some way. There's probably a way. You need to hire a hacker. I don't know where Karen is. Bob Burnell asked where Karen is. I haven't seen Karen yet tonight.
Yeah, normally
There's
she pops in.
everybody's. Huh?
Normally she pops in.
Yeah, I haven't seen her yet tonight. Everybody, Steve White. So good evening. Good to see you guys back. Hey, Carly, it's almost time for that glass of Christmas cheer. Christmas in a cup.
Never again. Never again.
Christmas in a cup, Steve. Christmas in a cup.
I was actually thinking of breaking it out the other day because I was like, maybe I can't. Nope, never mind. Nope. Gross. Oh, never mind.
And Barry's running DSL, he says. Oh my God, DSL. I didn't even know that still existed, Barry. I guess it does. There's a lot of people out in the outskirts don't know it. So you were gonna start the Christmas in a cup thing again? Why, you got a new TV show you gotta be on? Carly?
No.
No. Why were you gonna start the Christmas in a cup again?
Just to see if I could drink it.
Oh. Thought maybe you had another TV show you had to be on. Get ready for.
That's horrible.
Or is that the new job? The new job?
No. No.
Carly starts a new job in what, January?
Yeah, end of January.
End of January.
I'm surprised I'm not yawning. I've been working my ass off today.
You have. You've been doing a lot today. I know you have.
I'm shocked that you're yawning and I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm yawning for you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you want to talk about. Well, I was out in I mentioned this to you, but this is paranormal related, by the way, since we haven't been discussing anything paranormal yet. I had some really weird nightmares, nightmares out at Livy's house when I was out in Colorado, which I do think there's something haunting that place out there. It's not nice, whatever it is. It's. I had this dream about a witch, and I swear to God, at one point I woke up and it was kind of like standing around in the room I was in. But I don't know if I was still sleeping. It was one of those kind of deals. Seemed real. Could have swore it was this shadow figure thing, but I'm not totally sure. But it happened a couple nights. Same kind of thing. It's like a witch's best way. Ugly witch is the best way I can bring it up. But I haven't. I mean, I know there's a lot of paranormal stuff out in Colorado area, Colorado Springs and stuff like that. But I haven't really looked into much around her area where she is. So I may look into something. Because that could have to do with some of the problems and stuff she's having. But it did seem to try to interact with me, and I kind of just pushed it off. You know me. I just got the hell away. You're not going to bother me. So I did a white light thing, and I didn't see it again after the second dream I had, and that was on this. It was the second day I was there, and the fourth day I was there. So after last time, the second time I saw it, I dreamt it or whatever it was. It didn't come back again. So interesting. But that was my paranormal thing. So it could have to do with some of the problems and stuff she's having. So I'm gonna look into that a little
You brought
deeper.
your bad dreams back home. How dare you?
I didn't have to have any bad dreams since I've been home. No.
I had a bad dream when you got back home, but that was it.
Oh. Well,
Said you bringing it home. Bring instead
I
of the
didn't bring it
sunshine, you
home.
brought
You had
back
your own.
bad dreams.
Yeah, you had your own bad dream about me
Yeah.
disappearing or something again. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I died again or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we were in
Yeah.
Hawaii or something, weren't
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Yeah. We were in Hawaii. It was weird. Anyway, wasn't paranormal related. But we got a question from Steve Waite.
Okay, we also got something from Carl, so I want to throw Carl's up
Okay.
first because it came before. I think it came before Steve's. Yeah, it comes before Steve's, so I want to put Carl's up first. He's just talking about a friend of his. A friend in Manchester, Connecticut, has had unusual activity. She is a speaker. She had a speaker knocked over, a chip bag making noise like someone reaching into it. Mice? Mhm. Stick figures also your found by me. Your thoughts, please. All right. Well, when you say the stick figures, I assume, Carl, you were using your SLS camera. Is that correct? So he saw something in the SLS camera. That's what I'm going to assume. Tell me if I'm incorrect about that, Carl. Um, I mean, I don't know your friend. I don't know her house. I don't know much about it. I mean, there could be a reason for things like that. I mean, chip bag making noise. She have mice. Did the mouse get into it? Was it just sitting there next to her and it made? I mean, I need a little bit more information. Could there be something going on? There always could be something going on. Next question would be, Carly, as you know, has she had previous activity? You know, but he did, you know, if he was using the SLS camera, like I'm assuming he did, and he got, stick figures out of where were they? What were they doing at the time? How long did they last on the camera? Um, those are all the questions I have. It's always questions, Carl. There's always more questions that come before the answers. So, um, I wouldn't jump to it being paranormal related right away, but it's worth looking into. I mean, it's worth trying to figure it out. Just don't have her investigate it.
Yeah.
And Barry says he turns on his video resolution. My connection seems to be better. That's always true, Barry. And the reason for that is the higher the resolution, the more Carly use what's the word?
Bandwidth.
Bandwidth you're using. Yes. So it's using up your bandwidth. Higher resolution uses up your bandwidth, which slows down your internet connection. So yes, if you go to the lower resolution, it will stream better. That is true. Especially
We
when
got
you're talking about DSL or dial up or anything like that. Use low resolution, um, so you get a better connection. That is true. And let's get to Steve White's question now.
and we got well first Cody's here.
Cody here.
Hmm.
Hey, there's Cody. Cody Ray. We call him Cody Ray. Cody Ray.
I
We're
met
doing
Tor
well, Cody. We miss you guys. We have to
I
get
met
together.
I met Tori for the first time at that last event, and she's so sweet. I love her.
Yeah, she's a good person. Yeah, yeah, that's right. It was the first time you met her. I don't know if you'd met Cody before either.
He was there.
I know, but I don't know if
Oh,
you met
before that?
before that.
Yeah, I did.
If you were at
We never
Ocean
talked.
State, you should
We
have.
never talked, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, the year you were at Ocean State, Tori was there too.
Yeah.
Or you probably didn't meet her. That's all. So Tori and Cody are friends of ours. They're awesome people. Um, they have their own kind of road show of their haunted collection. So if you guys ever get to see them, some of you may know who they are and stuff, but if you ever get to see them, check them out. Um, It's Chris Sanders. Our buddy Chris is here too. How you doing out there, Chris? Chris has a very haunted collection of things as well. He's got one particular one, which is the little
Clown.
clown doll. Yeah, cool stuff. But Cody, yes, we got to get together with you guys. I remember you said we got to should get together, so let's do that. Maybe right after the holidays, we can get together for dinner or something, hang out, do whatever. Talk about next year. Maybe we can do something together next year. That'd be fun. I think that we'd have a good time if we did something together next year. All right, to Steve's question. I've had it up, sitting up here. Question. And he laughs. I know you're familiar with the stone tape theory, but what are your personal thoughts on this particular theory? Oh, what's my stone tape theory? Ah, I think that's remind me of what that is again. There's so many theories out there. I think that's the one where the stuff like activity, whatever, or incidents are
I
collected
got it.
by
I
the
got it.
surrounding. Is that what it is?
The stone tape theory is the speculation that ghosts and hauntings are,
They're trapped by the
yeah, and the mental impressions during emotional or traumatic events can be projected in the form of energy recorded onto rocks and other items
yes,
and replayed under certain
yeah.
conditions.
It's trapped. It's trapped under. Yeah, it's just another way of
Well,
talking
isn't
about.
that like a residual haunting?
Yes, it is, and that's what we're talking about. It's a residual
Oh,
type haunting. It can get trapped in stone, wood,
well,
anything.
yeah, that's what a
Um,
residual haunting is.
yes, and it's just the energy that replays itself under certain conditions. Stone tape, yeah. I mean, that's another term for it. But um, my own thoughts on it is that it's correct. I mean, I've seen things happen that are residual, that I know are residual, um, in different locations, especially older locations. Um, where it's just footsteps. You hear footsteps walking, and there's nobody there. Nothing interacts with you. Even voices. I've even heard like a conversation, but nothing interacts with you. It's like it's all residual, like just something that's replaying itself over and over again. That had happened many, many times in a location. So I do agree with that theory. I think it's correct based on my own experiences with it, and you can get some very interesting stuff out of that. I mean, you can get some very interesting evidence when you're collecting that type of stuff. If you do capture it, and I know we've captured stuff like that. I've got stuff, up on our website, on the Spirits of New England's website. I've got stuff from just even I talk about and play at some of my classes I give and stuff like that. Um, that Carly and I give. So I believe it's correct. I believe it's a valid theory, and there are different types of items that can, like you're talking about quartz. Well, quartz crystal is what's used to store stuff in a computer, right? Or to store knowledge, data, whatever you want to call it. Um, Quartz crystals store energy and they store information. So,
Mm.
yes, it's just information that's trapped in that type of material. And even wood can capture it. I mean, anything can capture it.
And I,
So,
I think we really need to tap into the concept of what intentions really are when we set an intention, because it's not just like a thought. It's an actual piece of energy that is brought out into the universe. So that travels through you. So with the intent of, let's say, walking through a house 100 times,
yeah,
that intention is flown through your body into the actual material that you're walking on, and it settles
correct.
there. So I believe that's how it works, honestly.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
and especially like you were saying with the intention of, say, like a murder with that axe murder, the guy
Yeah.
that the murderer was the residual spirit of the guy was haunting the place and whatever.
Yeah. True.
That intention was so strong that it stuck there.
Right. It left an
So,
imprint behind. Yeah.
right. So
Yeah. I know the
it
murder
just
you're
makes
talking about.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Karen. Karen just got in. So,
Yeah. Hi,
uh,
Karen.
there's
But yeah,
Karen.
thoughts and intentions, they have power behind them. It's not just,
Yeah.
a random.
and it can leave an imprint.
thing. It has its own vibration. It has its own oomph, you know. So
That's right. And Dana D has a question for you. You've probably been asked this, but are there any paranormal apps worth downloading? If so, which ones do you guys recommend? I use, and I've been using it for years and years now. Is the Ghost Radar. I think I use the Legacy, right? The Ghost Radar Legacy, which I think is like it might cost $1. It might be free now. I forget which, but I've been using that, and I have had very good um, uh, use with it. I mean, I've had good experiences with it. I've captured some good data with it. Um, for the first 5 6 years I used it, I just tested it and recorded things with it and compared it to other stuff we were capturing, and I had very good correlation between information I was getting from that words coming through it, and even there's little blips that show up that are show energy, but I would say I would ask like questions like give me two blips for yes and one for no. And I would consistently get answers with that. You would consistently get yes or no answers with that. But it also correlated with EVPs we captured, as well as personal experiences we had, and even some video that was captured at times. So that's a very good app. It's called the Ghost Radar app. I do use it. I don't trust it just by itself, but I will tell you this: the reason I like those kind of apps um, is they can give you a train of thought to follow. Like if you seem to start getting answers to questions when you're asking during an investigation, coming through those apps, or you get words come through, it gives you a guide to go by. It gives you something to lean towards. So, like if you seem to get consistent answers about something, let's say you're talking about what they did for a living and you get a word come through that says tailor, or things, something like that, and you get consistent answers. Oh, so you were a tailor. I think it gives you something to follow that you can keep asking, okay, instead of randomly just asking questions and hoping you get an answer to random questions. It gives you a line of questioning to follow, so it helps with that, right, and keep you on track. So Ghost Radar app, I do like, and it is still available out there for both Android and iPhone. So check it out. It's a Ghost Radar app. So, well, yeah, about you, Carly? Got any you like? She uses the one I
no,
use. Yeah,
yeah.
most everybody
Even
does.
even then, I don't really use equipment, if that makes sense. Like I'm
Yeah, I
more
know.
of just like a feeler. Like I
Intuitive.
just
You're
yeah,
intuitive.
I the most equipment that I use is really honestly a recorder and a K2. That's it.
There you go.
And then divining rods if I can't get um
I do too. I mean,
any
I don't just
interaction.
use. Yeah, we don't just use one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So
Use
it's just
multiple
what
things.
works best
Try
for me, you know?
Right, try different things, and don't be reliant on just one thing. I mean, yeah, the apps can be useful, they can be helpful, but they're not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Um, neither is a novelist
Yeah.
or
Or a spirit box
K2
or
or
yeah.
anything. Try different things, see what works for you. I mean, see what helps you get more information, but I still rely on EVPs and stuff like that mostly. So, that is one thing today I always tell people, remind people is you have every piece of equipment you could possibly want to use for an investigation on your cell phone. You got a
Yeah.
camera, you got a video camera, um, you've got apps like that you can download. It also has an audio recorder. So even if you forget to bring any of your equipment with you sometime to some place, or you're out someplace where you didn't bring your equipment, and you get a chance to investigate, remember your cell phone has everything you need to investigate with. So go with that. Use it. Don't be afraid to, and don't forget that it has all those functionalities on it already. Like I said, it's already got a digital recorder on it. So use it. Barry has a question. I'll let you take this one, Carly. Can you read it, or do you need me to read it for you?
No, I can read it.
Okay.
For the heavy feeling that sometimes occurs during paranormal investigations, when you enter a room, for example, what do you actually feel when this happens? So I don't know how to really describe this. It's more of a personal experience, I guess. Like everyone's going to be feeling this a little bit differently. For me, it feels like my so it's gonna
Like, what does
sound weird.
yeah,
It's gonna
confused.
sound so weird. But my aura around me, I can feel when I'm starting to tune into my surroundings. So I can pinpoint where people are in a room because I can feel their energy where they are. So my mannequins freak the hell out of me because they pop out of nowhere and I can't feel them because they aren't alive. But anyway, um, and so it feels like my energy around me kind of is like the air around it is thick and it's kind of like I'm walking through sludge or I'm feeling some sort of resistance against my energy or against my shield that I put up.
Mhm.
Um and sometimes the hair on my arms will start to stand up and I'll get like goosebumps without like and especially so it's very specific. So I'll get them down my arms and then down the sides of my legs.
Okay.
It's like and that's how I can tell between like regular goosebumps where I get everywhere if I'm
Mm.
cold. If it's spiritually uh um I guess caused, it's just in those specific locations. So it's very strange. But everyone's gonna tell you a different thing. Sometimes they feel tightness in their chest, sometimes they get a headache, they feel tightness in their head.
I feel that when I walk
Sometimes
up the stairs every day. I feel a tightness in my chest. What does that mean? Oh, I can.
so
But for
it's
me, like when I
yeah.
walk in, I just I get that like heavy feeling like I can't breathe, you know? Forget my
Yeah,
COPD. It really just feels like I got something sitting on my chest.
yeah.
Um, Sometimes it's not that heavy. Sometimes it depends on the I think what I've noticed is depending on the activity, um, it seems heavier when there's gonna be more activity than when there's not. So,
Mhm.
that could just mean the energy's higher. So, um, I
For
don't get
instance
the hair standing on end type of thing or anything like that. I just get a feeling, a sense that somebody is there, right? That somebody's actually there. That's usually
yeah.
when it's, an interactive and intelligent haunting. Other times, I've noticed, like, with residual hauntings, I just feel like the room is full, like
Mhm.
there's people in the room, but there's not, and that's usually I've noticed over the years with me, indicates there's maybe something residual going on, like that energy is there and it's still happening. So, but in those particular cases where it feels like there's people in the room or the room is full, it seems to be more residual type hauntings we run into, at least in that area. Um, and it can change from room to room. So it's interesting. Sometimes there's nothing in a room. That's what I feel. Nothing. Like, nope, nothing going on here. So we do have another question. Unless you got anything to add to that, Carly? Okay. Another question from Steve White. He said, "Thank you very much. I have another question. It's been said that there is no spirit present at a residual haunting. If this is true, is it possible for the spirit that left that energy behind to come back and actually see or replay of what he or she left behind? It's always been I've always been curious about it. Well, number one, it wasn't a spirit that left. Well, it wasn't a spirit what you're thinking of that left the energy there and left the location. The energy is left by living people. Okay, people who lived there at one time. They're that what left the energy behind. All right. In that case, you're talking about living people. We all have a spirit, so yes, in that sense, it's a spirit, but it's not a ghost that was
A
there
spirit
and
with a
then left.
body, someone with a body,
Yeah, yeah, it's not a
a
ghost that
physical
was
body.
there like it was a intelligent haunted location and then left.
Yeah,
That's not what it is.
it
Yeah,
has to be, like, repetitive for a long time. And so, typically with hauntings, if we do a cleansing, there is a little bit of
or
residual energy
traumatic.
left back. Yeah,
Yeah,
or traumatic. There is a little bit of residual energy left behind, but it doesn't last long. Like,
right.
it's, like, about a week, I think, is when it typically lasts for. So, it will go away. With this stuff that we're talking about, it doesn't go away. It stays. It's set into the environment.
Right.
Um,
It's like, if I pass away and I'm gone out of my house, okay, I'm no longer here, I passed on, and let's say the house was left vacant, and somebody came in to investigate it. I could tell you what you'd probably hear. You'd probably hear somebody going up and down the stairs all the time to the second floor.
mhm.
Because my house, I had lots of kids. When we were kids growing up, we were always up and down the stairs because our bedrooms were up here. My kids' bedrooms are up here. Now Carly and I are constantly going up and down the stairs all the time. You can see the wear marks in the stairs, as a matter of fact. So constantly going up and down the stairs. So I do not doubt somebody would hear somebody walking down those stairs. Maybe even banging against the wall on the stairs, because that happened a lot too with the kids. I got some dents in the walls to prove that. So
Yep.
things like that. I mean, you might even hear me talking at times. That doesn't mean I'm there, but I've had so many conversations in this house over all the years. This is the house I grew up in. So over all the years I've been here, you might hear my voice in this house because I've talked in this house all the time, right? With people,
Yeah.
with family, with whoever. So
Conversations and stuff.
yeah, conversations, things like that. You might hear a conversation going on, but it's one of those ones you can't quite make it out, but you can hear the tone and you can hear the voice, but you can't make out what's being said. Um, you might even get a loud, clear voice at some point, but it would probably be residual. It wouldn't be an interactive haunting. I don't plan to come back. Except
You'll hear the TV
to
with
haunt Carly.
the
Haunt Carly.
you'll
So wherever she goes is where you'll find me.
you'll hear the TV going off with the
Yeah, you
island
might.
there.
That's true. You might hear a TV playing, and it'd probably be playing some sci-fi movie. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Or
so
Oak
in
Island.
terms of in terms of a spirit coming back and seeing their own residual energy, I don't know the answer to that. But if we find out, we'll let you know.
If
Like,
that happens, we might have to go.
through a spirit app.
Yeah, if that happens, maybe get the ghosts
I
investigating the
feel like the
paranormal.
only way we could really find that out is if we experience that for ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way to really understand, like, from a spirit's point of view, what they can and cannot see,
Right. We don't know.
because we
We
don't have
don't
that
know.
ethereal body yet,
Right. We
you
know
know?
they at times they can see us, which is how they can interact with
Mhm.
us.
But how do they see us? That's the
We
thing.
don't. We don't know
We
if they
don't
see
know
us
that.
as
Yeah.
light. There's some people who have asked and gotten questions. We've seen we've gotten answers that they see us as light, or they see us as kind of as we see them, like almost like a transparent.
Yeah.
There's been some indications of that
Or they
they
can't see
almost
us
see
at
us the
all.
way we see them,
Or they can't see us at all if we're properly shielded and
but they can
grounded.
hear us.
Mhm. So it's
Yeah, that
very
happened on
strange.
Ghost Hunters, one of the Ghost Hunters. So Bob Burnell has I want to get to this because he has a good follow on to this. Says so the living could, in theory, have a residual haunting of them imprinted into a location. Yes, I guarantee you I do. And I swear at times I've probably even heard my own imprints of somebody coming up or going down the stairs. Either me or my sisters or the kids when they all lived here. I've had residual stuff happen in this house. And I know it's only from my own family. So yes, that is 100% true, Bob.
I
You
experienced that
can
the
leave.
the other the other day because I asked you, I was like, "Oh, the cat's coming up the stairs," and you're like, "No, the cat's outside."
No, we've
And
had
I
the
was like,
cat. Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah, and I've
oh,
heard with animals because we've had animals all our lives in this house, cats and
mhm,
dogs and everything else. And some occasion I hear a cat coming up the stairs, or sometimes that could be interactive, that could be actual spirit of a cat. But I think it's those things are just the imprints of like cat coming up the stairs.
mhm."
I don't think
Or
it's
fat
an
tube of
actual
a cat.
haunting, but it's I have had hauntings of spirits of cats. I've had them jump on my bed and the cat's not there, so I
I've
know that's
almost tripped over one on the way to the bathroom.
yeah, I've seen uh like, you know, shadow figures of cats. It looks like a cat running past, but there's no cat in the house.
Mhm.
So, that was you know, even before Carly even came around, I used to see that because we had so many cats over the years. But yes, I believe that's absolutely true, Bob. Yes, you can leave. And probably if you paid attention to your own home that you've lived in for a long time, you might hear things that you've done happening. You walking, you just got to pay attention once in a while. But yes, definitely. Because just because you already left it and it's imprinted doesn't mean it's not already happening. It doesn't have to be after you're dead before it happens. It can happen before then. Oh, here's something interesting. I did not, and since Cody's here tonight, I think he's still listening. Rise of Paranormal just had a video of Cody and Satori, and they were touching each other, causing a sort of portal where they could get answers to questions asked in the form of knocking. That's interesting. So it's maybe using. So Cody, if you're still listening, I'd like to hear more about that. You're using your own energy to create energy for somebody to give you answer to try to get answers from. I guess that in that case, you're kind of trying to be a battery in a
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a
provide
circuit.
energy. Yeah, I'd like to hear more about that. And Cody, I know you were maybe you're still here. You can talk to that a little bit more. I will have to check out that video. I know that's probably on their YouTube site. Oh, Bob Bennell did post it. Okay, he posted the link to it. Barry talks about a psychic medium could be useful for this. That's possible. Um, you see. Dana says, haven't investigated in years, but I did for 20 years before with MD Ghosts and Spirit Association and Mason Dixon Paranormal. Ooh, okay, she's down south. Just a little background. Very cool. We got friends down in Tennessee. Chino's. See, there's a cat crying in the background. Oh, it's Chino. Oh, look at that. That's not residual. That's a living cat. So he probably wants to go out or something. He's annoyed that we're doing the show. And Carly walked away to go get Chino. Was in here with me, so she just picked him up, as you can see in the background. I'm just going through your stuff here, people. Just trying to catch the questions and stuff like that. And Christina Mark says she feels electrical feeling throughout her whole body. If I have a strong entity around us, that's yeah. Everybody feels things in a different way. All right, so here's a quick question from Teresa Fowler. Quick question. How do you handle a playful spirit? Because we have one at work that likes to throw our cups and we use for sodas out of the holders. Tell him to stop. Maybe he's mad. Maybe he doesn't want you guys working there. Because you don't know if they're playful or if they're upset about something, right? We don't know. We don't know what their intent is. We don't know what their thoughts are. But you could just try telling them, hey, cut it out. Leave our stuff alone. I would try that more than anything. It's just like somebody who's just causing you problems. Just tell them to knock it off. You got to get that way with spirits sometimes. You just got to tell them the way it is. Or get better cup holders. I don't. Somebody can't throw them out of. I would try just telling it to knock it off first, though. I would do that. Karen Ann Daniels Karen talks about child spirit in her house. That's very mischievous. Even relocating items. So that's a pain in the butt. When it got really disruptive, I just told him he wasn't allowed to take things. He upset my kids. He quieted down. He's still there. That's what it goes back to what I just said. Just tell him to knock it off. Cut it out. You can't be doing that. Leave your stuff alone. They're not allowed to touch it. Just like you're not allowed to touch other people's stuff, he can't touch your stuff. So that's the best way to deal with it. So Karen, good response to Teresa, and Teresa, that's the same response I got for you. Steve asked another question: is it possible for a dog or cat to have a spirit attachment? Um, that's a good question. I'm not sure I know the answer to that. Could they have a spirit attachment? I suppose a living person who passed away could still be attached to their living cat.
Yes.
That's all
Think
a
about
Carly
how
answered.
attachments are like the so attachments. All right, hang on. Attachments. I want you to visualize a straight line of energy going from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Now, this straight line is your alignment of your words, your chakras. So you have little pools, spots, 7 of them, that go from the top of your head down to your feet. Okay? I know. I'm sorry. Now, when you have an attachment, they are attached to that cord of light that is through your body. It is like a leash from them to you, or an umbilical cord, really honestly, because that's how they exchange the energy. So, the closer it is to that actual cord in your body, the stronger the attachment, and they do that by the length of time that they've been attached to you. Dogs and cats and pets have those chakras as well. So they can get attachments. That's what I was taught.
Yeah. I think your
But yeah,
cat's annoyed with you. He's not attached to you right now.
I know. I petted him in the place he didn't want to be pet.
Oh,
But
well, he's got a sore spot there.
yeah. But that was what I was taught, was that's how attachments function. That's how they work.
Mhm.
So if dogs and cats have those chakras as well, well, yeah.
Yeah, suppose they could have an attachment. Yeah, so it's possible. I
It may
mean,
not be an emotional attachment, but it can
no,
be an
he's talking about a
energetic
spirit
attachment.
attachment. He's talking about a
Right.
spirit.
Well, sometimes spirits are attached emotionally.
Yeah,
That's their cause to be
right.
attached.
I mean, we know in negative
So,
cases they've had,
yeah.
the energy drain from it. It's resulted in deaths of animals from the energy being drained out of them, making them sick, ill, stuff like that. It's happened to people too, so
Mhm.
that can happen. And I just want to say, Wes Coleman says Merry Christmas to us. So Merry Christmas, Wes Coleman.
Merry
I just wanted to
Christmas.
get back to you before. I don't know if he's got to jump off or what, but yes, if we don't see you, if we don't hear from you before, yes, Merry Christmas, Wes, and to everybody else here. But we'll be back next Tuesday. Um, okay, I'm just going down the line here. I just post this up in case somebody else is out in Syracuse way. My son's out in Syracuse now. Longtime Syracuse WSYR newscaster Rod Wood has passed away. Sorry to hear that. He retired last year. That's one thing I don't ever want to have him. I retire and then I die a year later. That would not be good, you know. And that happens to a lot of people, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if they just feel there's nothing else for them to do, or they're just not in good health. It's hard to say. But just throw that up there because Barry was a longtime fan of his and mentioned it. So, and thank you, Steve. This is why we do the Q&A, so we can try to give what we believe is what we believe is our answers, at least, to your guys' questions. He just says he loves the questions everybody comes out with and the answers, and that's why he loves Q&A. So, this is why we do it. Try to give you guys answers to your questions as best as we can. Ours aren't the only answers, though, but we try to give some. And Dana, I'll just put this up because Dana has a unique idea about how spirits see us. So it's talking about be kind of like telekinesis, except they see us with energy. That could be. never given it too much thought as to how they see us. Well, I've given it a little bit,
Well, it's not a
but I haven't
they don't have
dwelled
a
on it.
physical eye.
No, no, they don't. So they are energy. So they're seeing us through the lens of energy, however that is. Could be heat. Could be more like a heat signature they see. Um, she says Mason Dixon is in Gettysburg, PA. Okay, the Mason Dixon line. Yep. Just looking for questions. A lot of good conversations going on out there, though. I've always thought that if an object can have an attachment, certainly a dog or cat can. That's what Dana says. And that's true. Yes. Anything can have an attachment. I mean, items can have attachments. There's different reasons why. And some may be the same reasons why spirits are attached to people or animals as they are to an item. It's just something that was very special and important to them. If it's somebody who lived with that particular item or person or cat or dog or
You know one
hamster
that I am.
or whatever, huh?
I'm gonna be
You're going to be an attachment?
attached to my stuffed animals.
Yes, yes. So bury her stuffed animals with her when she goes, people. Do
Or
not
burn
keep
them.
any of them around. Don't burn them. No, no, don't burn them. Some may already have, I think, their own life. So, you just bury them with her. Or if you cremate her, yeah, burn them with her. Yeah. Cremate them all together. I know if some reason, for any reason, you went before I did. I know that darn horse one is going with you. I know that. I'm not keeping that around. That thing will come to life.
I
And
was never told how spirits are um, attached to objects. That's one thing I'd be interested in
I
learning.
don't think anybody really knows for sure. It's just theories. Something that was important to you, something that was special to you. But you have with you, I could think it was more like, I mean, you had such a close connection to that particular one because of all the stuff you were going through at the time and stuff like that, that part of you was attached to that thing now. It's my Voldemort theory, right? Your soul splits. So you had such a connection, emotional connection to that thing that part of you is with that item now. Okay. And that could be true of any item with an attachment. That somebody was so connected to that actually they put part of their soul with that item. So it's just part of them that's still attached to it, you know. And that could be a traumatic thing too, you know. Something somebody was murdered with could still have their soul attached to it, you know. Just because of the trauma of the event, you know. But you, in your case, you had such an emotional attachment to that darn one stuffed animal that, yeah, part of your soul is probably with that animal. So it definitely has an attachment. Part of you is connected to it.
I'd be interested to see the correlation between uh, children who go through traumatic events and the loss of memory associated with the um, part of that s- connection that's left behind that's still attached to that comfort object.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's part of their soul.
If that makes sense. So like as part of their soul detached and it
Yeah,
attached itself to that thing so
yeah,
that as a self-defense type of thing.
yeah. I don't think it detached. I think they put part of their soul into it without really realizing. You had such an emotional attachment to that part of you went to it without you even knowing that you did it. And with that, Bob Burnell has a question. I'm not sure you're stating this right, though, Bob. Can a spirit have an attachment to it other than a negative spirit? Do you mean an item? I don't think spirits have spirit attachments.
I don't think spirits can.
I suppose it could, but like a negative spirit can be controlling another spirit, but I don't think that's what he's talking about. In the case of attachments, it doesn't always have to be a negative attachment, no.
No, people can have positive attachments,
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Carly's
yeah.
stuffed animal. I don't think it's a negative attachment,
Oh,
but I
no, no,
still
no.
wouldn't want it left around.
Yeah. They'll have a
It
little kid running around the
needs
place.
to go with her. Yeah. A
No, like,
traumatized
attachments everyone
child
has
has
positive and negative attachments,
a
yeah.
slightly traumatized child is attached to that, which is why I wouldn't want it around. That's got
Like,
all your
people can have family
troubles.
members as attachments, or friends, or,
Yeah,
I believe, like, past ancestors
yeah,
as well,
attachments are
you know?
not always negative, though. As a matter of fact, I don't think most attachments are negative.
Mm-mm.
I just
The reason why you hear
think
mostly
they're
about negative
misunderstood.
is because they're negative. They take the energy away from you. Like, they affect
Right,
you negatively. No one asks for help for the positive,
right,
you know? That's
mm,
why we always hear about the negative.
right. That's right.
But I think the positive outweighs the negative, you know?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, because if
I
people
don't
hang
think
on to
spirits
things
can have
from family members that have a really significant meaning to them, and they feel something good with it, which is probably an attachment, like your mother's locket or
well
whatever.
well, hang on.
Well, I think it's a soul attachment, but it
Then
doesn't
we're
necessarily mean it's gonna be a haunting.
what about and I'm gonna bring religion into this. What about, like, say someone's, like, a Christian and they pass,
Right.
and they make it into heaven. Wouldn't that be another attachment of God technically? Because you become a part of
No,
him?
yeah. Whoa, you misunderstand God. If you already believe in God, you are already a part of God. God is already a part of you.
Well, you have to go through the judgment.
No, if you truly believe in God, yeah, even if you don't, supposedly, you are already a part of the greater being, the God, whatever you want to call it, right? You are already a part of that. Okay. Whether you choose to join with it, with your energy with it after you die is another matter. Right? But you're a part of the greater world around us. We all are, right? You're already part of it, right?
Oh, they didn't teach
If
us
you're
that.
looking strictly from the Christian perspective,
Yeah.
right?
My church didn't teach us that.
If you're a Christian, you are already part of God because you already believe in God. If you're a true Christian, you already believe in God.
Well, yeah.
So you're already part of God.
Well,
So
yeah.
if you live your life as a Christian, do you really think you're not going to go to heaven?
No.
Well, then you're already part of God. So you're already connected. You're already attached to God, or God is attached to you. It's a communal thing. It's not
Okay.
communal, but it's a
Okay.
two-way street.
So anyway,
But yes,
anyway.
you have an attachment
That
of
is
God, which is
technically
why
a
you
spirit
act the way
having
you
an
do.
attachment.
Huh?
That is technically a spirit having an attachment.
Yes, but it goes both ways. You are
Right.
of God. You're part of God.
So technically a spirit can have an attachment, but it would just have to be on the spirit like the faith side of things.
Not in the way maybe they're thinking, though. When they're talking about a spirit attachment. Can a spirit have a spirit attachment? I don't think he was thinking about that when that question was asked. He's thinking about like I don't even know if he meant spirit because he might have meant something else. All right.
Can a spirit
Mm.
have a spirit attachment? Because that's technically like when we
No,
talk
I don't
about
think
all
so.
the chakras and everything, that's our soul.
Yes. We're
That's
talking
what
about
has the
can
attachment.
a soul has a soul attached to it. I suppose two people were very close in life, yes, could be attached to each other.
Well
So those souls are connected.
then you're getting into twin souls,
Not even twin souls,
twin
but
twin
you can
flames.
have two souls that are connected to each other, which is why they stay together once they pass. Technically, that's an attachment,
But
but
technically, twin flames have an attachment as well. They're just two halves of the same soul.
yes, if you're getting to that, yes. Well, they're two halves of the same soul. That's not necessarily an attachment. That's one soul. that was split. That's something else. One soul recombines. It's not an attachment. It's one soul that recombines after death. So it's not an attachment. Whereas two souls, two people who loved each other or very close all their lives, could be attached to each other in death. Yes, they could stay together throughout eternity,
Yeah, but I'm thinking from
but not in the sense of a haunting. No,
well, I'm thinking of like a positive versus negative
I don't
attachment.
think a ghost can be haunted by a ghost.
But a ghost can be haunted by demons.
That's not a haunting.
That
That's hell.
is though.
That's hell.
No. So I'm gonna bring up a movie. Remember The Conjuring?
Yeah, right. It's a movie though, but okay.
But I'm sure this has happened in the world, right?
I don't know.
Spirits can be trapped by other more powerful entities, whether it be a more powerful human spirit or a demonic, and they can kind of control them. Correct? That's
Well,
considered a
yes, but
haunting of a
that's
spirit.
not an attachment.
But can they
That's
form an attachment?
no, they're not attached to it. They're controlling that spirit. That's like if a demon is controlling another spirit, that's not he's not attached to it. He's manipulating it. It's kind of like being a slave to it. You're not. It's not attachment. One energy is controlling the other. That's not an
So like a
attachment.
possession.
Yes,
Okay.
some.
So
Right.
thinking from positive and negative aspects, since
Yeah.
those two cannot be together. Like the positive pushes away the negative, right?
Okay.
Um, could a negative spirit in that sense attach to a positive spirit then? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't
Because
know
it
what you
wouldn't
mean
be
by
able to touch the light. Because the two vibrations like push each other
right,
away.
right. They would cancel. Technically, a positive and negative cancel each other out. So,
Depends on which one's more powerful though. Which one's more potent.
mm, 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 maybe
Because the dark can snuff out the light to an
not
extent.
really. It can block
But
out
in
the.
most cases the light overpowers the dark. But
You're getting into the whole yin and yang thing. So. But we have another question. We have to carry this one on next week
okay.
because we're actually getting close to the end here.
Right.
Um, but that's a good conversation. We're just gonna have to carry it on next week. So remember that, people.
Can a spirit have an attachment?
A spirit habit attachment. You're getting deep with that one. So this from Steve White. Another question. While investigating residential locations, have you ever made contact with a spirit that was possibly buried close to that home? I know back in the days, many people buried their loved ones. Hinsdale House,
Yeah.
and that was kind of found out more recently that there is 5 grave sites over by the pond that are very close to the house that might uh, be the reason for some of the haunting going on there. So I would say yes. Yes, it is possible that somebody who's buried near a location is haunting it. Yes. Yes, because those graves were forgotten about, not even known about. So those were probably spirits that really weren't at rest. And they've still got a lot to do to find out more about who those people are and why they're there. And they may not be attached or connected to the Hinsdale house itself. It could have been a location that was there long before, um, or people that were passing through the area that died there. They're supposed to do. I know at some point they're supposed to have an archaeologist come in and kind of excavate some of those grave sites and see who those people were, what's going on there, and maybe when they can date it to. So, but in answer to that question, Steve, yes, I do think that's very possible for that to happen. somebody who's buried near a home be the person that's or the spirit that's haunting it. So I hate to tell you, people, but it's 8:59 p.m. We're at our time for tonight. Hour goes by fast, no doubt about that. Carly, you got any last minute things you want to say? Hey, I'll say this quick. If you're looking for any good books for any of your friends, you can find mine on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. Just look up Jack Kenna, and you'll find all my books there, my comic book, all that good stuff. Make great stocking stuffers. Go for it, people. I could use the money. I don't get much from them. Don't worry. But they're good reads. They're good books. They're fun. You'll learn something from them, and you'll get some more insights into the paranormal stuff. Carly, anything from you?
Nope.
Nothing.
Have a good week, guys.
Have a good week. Nothing else. Not even about your other stuff.
I mean, everybody knows. I stream on Twitch, guys. Twitch.tv/AEG_chaos_jade. So you might find me playing with my brother sometime.
But you do have your community nights too, right?
Yeah, that's okay. So for those of you who are part of the streaming or the Twitch community, I do community nights every Thursday. It's from I believe, oh, I got it right here, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do have a session at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well, and we play Among Us. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to let people know about that. They might have friends out there who are into that, not necessarily them.
Yeah.
So you can join Carly's community out there if you'd like. It's a fun thing too, just like Paranormal Q&A. So, but Carl has a thing. He says before you go, oh, this is nice. Before you go, my life has been enriched by having Jack and Carly as friends, as well as many paranormal family. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas, Carl, and we will be back again next Tuesday, I promise. But we love you all. Have a great night. And if we don't see you before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. And Happy New Year and all that good stuff. But we will be back. And we have a couple shows coming up too. I think we got one. We're going to do that one show with somebody January 9th, right?
Yes.
We'll
with
post
Cisco.
about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. We'll post about those when they come. And somebody else just contacted me about another one in January as well. So we'll let you know when those are happening, guys. Everybody have a good night. I'm going to go catch my show tonight, which is, of course, is Curse of Oak Island. And there's gold on that island. There is gold on that island. Hopefully they'll find it next year. I didn't think they found it this year, but maybe they'll find it next year. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. We love you all.